Iona Falls account. This show is brought to us by Film Fund, and we have Alan, Ralph, and Cyprian here directly from the Film Fund team. We'll be doing an in-depth AMA with the three of them in the last 20 minutes of our 1 hour show today. But in the first 40 minutes, you're in for a treat. We're going to be talking everything RWAs, film financing, and how that relates to Web3. And it's an exciting day to do that because I always love having these conversations with Kelly when the market is green. Kelly brings a sense of optimism that we really need in this market. And I typically really need that when the market's down. But on a day like today, I like to come hang out with Kelly and kind of allow him to take his victory laps on Bitcoin coming back up. So Kelly, how you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing excellent. The markets are looking good. Bit of a rebound that I was kind of highlighting on some of the other content channels that I'm on, the setup for that. But the development within the ecosystem, what's going on in blockchain, and then also we diving in with Film Fund the second half. I thought, what better way than to talk a little bit. That's not the screen I wanted to share. Hold on one second. I'll pull it up right here. Boom. We are looking at this right here. We're looking at the hunt for, it's still not showing. My bad. I guess I got too many screens up. The hunt for Green October. That's what I was trying to share, just like the hunt for Red October. But now it's a Green October for what's going on, considering the red-ish month, the chop zone we had in September. A lot of indications are suggesting that we're going to have some upside price action this month, let alone what we saw with some of the jobs numbers. Showing a bit of weakness, and the next Fed fund rate decision coming up a little bit in a couple of weeks here. But the market, here on the Mario Nawfal Crypto Dailies, we get to meet with a lot of different developers and have a lot of different panel discussions. And I can tell you firsthand, there's no slowing down in the amount of development that's been going on within this ecosystem, let alone, in addition to that, the fact that the world seems like the foundation for the crypto market is getting stronger by the day with changes in legislation, changes in different parliamentary things in various countries, and of course, the optimism and awareness that's gone on here. So I'm very excited, and I'm looking forward to jumping in with Film Fund at the end to see exactly what they've got going on. But I'll throw it back to you. I'm a bull.
Let's do some introductions. So we have Alan, Ralph, and Cyprian here from the Film Fund team. Alan, why don't we start with you just to give us and the audience some background of who you are and what you do?
Sure, I can introduce myself. So my name is Alan Pano. I am a senior blockchain full stack engineer. I have more than 17 years commercial experience. I started my career in 2006 as a Java backend developer. Lately, around 7 years, I got caught by the crypto industry. So I decided to build my career around Web3. And yeah, that's why I became a full stack blockchain engineer. And yeah, I'm happy. I'm the CTO of the Film Fund project, and yeah, it's been great so far.
Wonderful. Well, I appreciate you joining the show. Ralph, good to have you as well, my friend. Why don't you introduce yourself to the audience as well?
Yeah, I'm Ralph Steiger. I'm a German actor and producer, and I'm at the moment I'm in Spain. I have my company here in Spain called Viking Global, and in the past I was working with a lot of film productions and helped them by financing the movies on the regular way, find investors and finance the movie. So this is a new project now. What I'm very interesting to join, and yeah.
We had the opportunity to have a project on the show last week. Kelly, I believe you were also hosting that one with me, but we had the producer and director. I think he was a producer and art director on Finding Nemo, which would be a really great opportunity to connect you guys with them, and I'm sure we'll be able to do that after the show as well. But happy to have another actor and somebody involved in the film industry on the show, Ralph.
Yeah, thank you.
Cyprian, last but not least, my friend, the founder of Film Fund. How are you?
Thank you very much. Thank you for having us today. Just to give you a brief description about my experience, my background is a combination between financial and technology. I'm a former entrepreneur. And since 2017, I quite move in crypto space as advisor, doing end-to-end advisory for both security and utility tokens. Since 2018, we're quite focusing on security tokens mostly. And since last year, through certain discovery that we done through the space, I came to this idea, which I will tell you more about it along the roundtable.
You know, Buzz, one of the things I'd like to highlight here, and I think we'll be speaking broadly around this, is while we're going to be diving in with the Film Fund in the second half of the show, I think that the concept here really illuminates the overwhelming strides forward the blockchain ecosystem, the crypto ecosystem has taken from 2015, 2016, 2020, where we're at now in 2025, where it's not just speculators saying, hey, I'm going to buy this coin because I might make some money. We're actually seeing massive developments in decentralized science. We're seeing developments in creative aspects. We're seeing developments in the gaming and arts ecosystem, in entertainment, most specifically. And what's one thing that every culture has in common everywhere in the world is entertainment is a part of culture. So it's very exciting for me to see, whether it be fund generation for to raise for artistic projects for film, or to help raise capital to not be skewed by the dollars that are there raising in science, where you're getting skewed results based on who's funding. So I do think this idea of trustlessness, which I think the rest of the world is still grappling with, the need not to have a third party or the things that are sort of really trying to differentiate bias from pressure to have results one way or another. And yet here we are still excited or upset on a 15-minute candle, whether it's green or red. And I'm looking at this like the foundation to an entire new cultural revolution of what we see moving forward.
Agreed. Kelly, have you ever heard of the term black box accounting? A lot of people say it's Hollywood accounting as well, but as a film buff myself, this is something I read about several years ago. That perhaps Ralph or Cyprian, you guys might be able to add some color here as well. But when I heard about it, it was basically this. I guess the best way to put it is Hollywood accounting is very, very intricate and confusing with what money actually goes towards making a better product on screen. And there are very few safeguards. Like I think there are some insurance companies and regulatory bodies that kind of sometimes overlook the spend on Hollywood movies and just movies in general. But this concept of black box accounting, I always thought was such an obvious way to use blockchain. Cyprian, would you, is my characterization of this accounting problem relatively accurate, and would you agree with that assessment?
If you think about it, film financing today looks like banking before the internet, slow, closed, and limited to few big players. It's like, and with Web3, it's like Web3 changes everything on this. It's opening doors and saying like anyone, anywhere can be part of this. Yeah. So with blockchain, financing become transparent, global, and fair. So instead of just watching movies, fans can come and fund them and promote them and feel ownership, be part of them actively, not just watching them like before. So it's turning films into a community-driven experience, not just a product on the screen.
Ralph, I saw you nodding your head when I was kind of asking that question. You mentioned in your introduction that you had helped in your career financing films as well. Can you speak a little bit more towards that problem, like what's going on in film financing outside of Web3 right now?
Well, yeah, go ahead.
Yes, no.
Go ahead.
Sorry, it was for you.
Well, it's getting harder from year to year to finance movies. So even if you have not an A-lister or something like that, it's maybe it's impossible to do. So when I started years ago, it was easy or not easy, but it was easier to do that. And what I found out is from year to year, it's getting harder. So I'm very open to find new ways and easier ways to do that. Yeah.
I've heard that the creative process in terms of film financing is kind of at a flux right now, where the large studios who are funding the majority of these films, they're using a lot of analytics and data, more of a data driven approach to say, okay, this movie on Netflix got a huge viewership. Let's copy some of the fundamentals from that, and really restricting the creative aspect of script writing, producing, and development, because it's been in the hands of those major institutions who are very data driven and don't really let creativity prosper.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I kind of think back even in music. If you hear something that is new or sort of novel of the time, there's one breakthrough artist, and then there's 4 or 5, 6, 7 others that come out from different labels that sound super similar. I think back to Pearl Jam in the 90s, and then, right around that same time, you had Stone Temple Pilots, Creed, and then following up with that, there was a couple other bands. Similarly with movies, just like you said, Buzz, I think you have this executive sort of stigma that if the executives are overwhelmingly involved in the creative process or choking down on what is getting funded, it feels like they're looking for the cookie cutter. Well, that works, so let's do something like that, and it won't work if it doesn't. But then at the same time, my curiosity, and it's not just with films, it's with the broader media ecosystem and entertainment ecosystem. If somebody was famous in 1950, everybody knew them because everybody was watching one of 3 television stations, and there was very few movies that were available in theaters. Same thing with bands. If somebody was on the radio, everybody heard of them. Now we have Spotify, we've got, just name it, Apple Music, Amazon Music, movies, you've got Netflix streaming, all the different streaming services, you've got movie theaters, you've got different things you can do online with different vehicles and mediums. So on the one hand, it's never been easier to get in front of people. On the other hand, it's so much bifurcation and diversification and division of viewership amongst so many different outlets, but also creatives. So Alan, I'm curious your thoughts on that, being a CTO of, in this space, what do you make of that when somebody is trying to go to market with some entertainment product? How do you really stand out in the various easier access to get involved, but also the divided sort of eyes across so many spaces?
Yes, well, I think first of all, it's important to have a really innovative product that if you compare with the rest of the products, obviously I think we are ahead of competitors, and also I think it's a really good way of democratizing the film fund investment industry. Also gives the possibility to small investors to access to buy some stocks and also be an ownership of revenue possible of the film. So I think that is great, and yeah, I think Film Fund has all the potential and is top of technology as well. We are really working really hard on this project, and yeah, I'm happy that we are here sharing it with you.
Amazing.
Yeah, on that note, Ralph, what I find interesting is you kind of straddle a number of different aspects here, having been an actor in the space, but also raising money. How would you say the entertainment sector has really changed? I mean, because obviously there's innumerable ways to talk about it post 2000, but also this intersection of all these different avenues, as I just mentioned, but also that also brings a whole new host of areas of bringing people to market. The participation aspect of this, not only from the internet, but also through could be the Web 2 vehicles like GoFundMe, but now blockchain, where things feel like they can be a little bit better tracked and a little bit more transparent. What do you make of that, having been on both sides of this, and where you think this might be going?
Well, let me go back to the past. When I started in this business as an actor, you had 3, 4, 5, 10 channels. You have every night a movie, and that works. Today, you have a game show, you have a script reality show, you have that. The movies getting lower on the market. So you just have a chance to win with a good movie, with a good cast, with a good story, and that costs money. And the investors from the past that put the money into the movies, today they put the money in other things like game shows. So you have to get this investors back to movies, and that is not easy today. So that is what I'm saying. It's getting harder today to get investors than in the past.
And do you think that because I've seen movies and entertainment products try to finance on Kickstarter and things like that, but Kickstarter is such a donation-based product. Like if I participate in a Kickstarter campaign, I don't really expect anything back. I just want to support a creator. But I've heard of some really great successes in the entertainment business that have come out of Kickstarter, but there's seemingly few and far between. What are your thoughts on that Kickstarter model?
Sure, that works. I was talking about the regular investors you had in the past, so the people that invest in projects, and this market now it opens new investors, people that invest in movies that never did that before, because they're on a platform and can do it in small amounts, and so that I think that will be a great idea, and that's why I'm very interested in it.
As an asset class, are movies typically a very popular investment or lucrative investment opportunity?
Pardon?
At movies as an asset class,
Yeah.
how have they performed over periods of time? Is it a good investment?
Well, it's depends on the story and on the cast, like always.
Yeah, I hear that. I mean, we see many stories over the last few decades where different artists, different actors, which are artists, either get offered actual payouts to be in a movie, or even potentially, the legendary stories where I think it was Matt Damon was one of them in Avatar, who was offered the role, and they were really trying to give him a percentage basis to really influence him to want to participate. And of course he didn't, he wasn't able, whatever the story was. And then looking back, it's like, oh, wow, this was, you can't always forecast that a movie is going to be a $300 million success or a $3 billion success. So what would you say, Alan, what would you say in that regards? Like, would this be participants in an investment class in an arts project, whether it's film or something else in entertainment? Is it just based on the PR around that gets people excited, or is there what is the approach to getting people incentivized to participate in funding beyond, like Buzz was saying, beyond just donating like on something on Kickstarter, whereas here you have something within a blockchain ecosystem?
Well, I think the main difference is, for example, in our platform, that we will give the participant investors the possibility to invest in the movies that they love, or even the actors that they like, that they could find interesting, or the scripts, or the director. So there are many different reasons for investment, and also I think, of course, a good movie, it's all with a good script, good story, good actors. It's not only one thing to be successful. How many times we've seen plenty of millions of dollars investments in movies that they are bad, actually. So, but yeah, this platform will give the opportunity to any even single investors, small investors, to participate and be a fan of the film that they want, and also earn some attractive rewards. So I think it's a really good idea.
Let me say one thing from my side. To shoot a movie with an A-lister doesn't mean that the movie has to cost $50 million, $100 million. like you said with Mark Wahlberg. I have a script here on the table where I just ask him to if he wants to play it. You can do a movie with a guy like this with less than that, like 20 million. It depends on where you shoot it and when you shoot it and who are the partners involved. Then you can make a movie that costs 100 million in the past, just cost 20 million today. So, and it's the same kind of quality. So it depends on who are your partners on that project.
Well, you know, I'm kind of curious about this from a and this is for the entire entertainment industry. It feels, and this is me being an outsider, but also working in tech and utilizing things like AI, for instance. Is there pressure? Are you noticing pressure within the production side of the entertainment industry? In y'all's case, it would be film, that is kind of collapsing the assumption or expectation of what budgeting should be required for entertainment production, because in a lot of cases now you can reduce, whether it be on location filming or it could be the way things are edited or using a likeness through AR or AI. How is that affecting the actual production and the budgeting of expectation of cost for films? Is that starting to take a pretty big effect within the film industry?
Well, I just heard the second part of your question because I had a hiccup here.
Well,
He's
maybe
asking
one of the other two
AI
guests that are here could answer that question, please.
Yeah, personally, I don't think that AI will influence. Of course, will influence the movie industry from many aspects. But as long you will trust and you love an actor like Brad Pitt AI or a Tom Cruise AI or an Angelina Jolie AI, that will do. But otherwise, I don't think so. So still, live actors will be on the trend. This is my point of view.
Yeah, go ahead, Buzz.
Any specifics that go into kind of film financing? And Ralph, I know that you noted earlier that the investment opportunity in a film is very, very specific film to film. It depends on a lot of nuance that you pointed out. Having a Web3 financing platform, how do you vet projects that are going to be fundraising from retail in crypto to ensure that they're high quality?
Well, that's a question for you, Cyprian.
Yeah, I think, we often talk about real estate or commodities are real world tokenized assets, but films are also real world assets. They have budgets, they have revenue, they have IP, they have global audience. By tokenizing film, we're putting entertainment into the same investment category as real estate or private equity. The difference with film, we are not just investing in numbers, we are investing in culture, storytelling, creativity. It's financial value combined with the cultural impact, and that makes tokenized entertainment such powerful asset class, I think.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I mean, I just think about my life. You know, I'm 42. I'll be 42 here very soon, and the films have.
Billy.
What's that?
Said happy early birthday.
Oh yeah, it's very early, a couple months out. But I just like that number 42, right? The theory of everything, right? But films for me have been such a profound shaping of early childhood, my early 20s, like even to this day. I have different films in mind for different aspects of my life that had different impacts, and whether it was this entertaining thing from a comedy or a love story or sci-fi, there's always lessons to be learned and things, sort of sub storylines that actually delivered some profound message. And I do think it's important that as a culture, and whatever culture we're in, whatever regional culture or just the culture of humanity, that we see things like this with what you all are doing with Film Fund. And I'm excited to dive in to the AMA with you guys in here in a few minutes there, but making sure that we're also moving things along the way from the executive fundraising side, all the way through the production, all the way through the deliverability side, making sure things are keeping up with, I don't want to say the trends, but the available tech of the day that gets enough exposure, but also gives people enough access. Because I feel, Buzz, I think you'd agree with me on this, whether we're talking about film or entertainment or even finance, what I'm seeing, and social media may have a big part of this, a big reason on this, is that there's almost like this big move of, I don't want to use the word empowering, but creating access to more people without the legacy gateways that have basically been boundaries and resistant hurdles for so many people to participate. And whether it's certain financial investments, whether it's certain cultural artistic movements, or in this case entertainment, it feels like we're moving in tech to give people the ability to participate, whether it's in funding and creating shared ownership. Would you say that that's a pretty big trend that's moving forward, Buzz?
Oh, 100%. I mean, we haven't really hit RWAs all that much in this panel, but I think that's just a growing trend. People want fractionalized ownership of many different things.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. So I think that goes back to what we were mentioning. And I don't mean to draw the comparison, but people are aware of things like GoFundMe and Kickstarter. But the difference here that I really would love to illuminate, and I'm glad you used that word there, that phrase, real world asset, the tokenization of the old legacy systems into this new world tech, is it creates the opportunity for people not just to donate to something or to, for instance, a game. You buy a game, you play it, and that's done. But actually having the ability, the ability to participate in it beyond just lending dollars to something. But I can have a point of shared ownership. We're seeing it with real estate. We're seeing it with entertainment. We're seeing it with the smart contractability and real world asset tokenization. So I'm curious, Alan, how you see that trend moving forward. Do you think that this is going to be a catalyst, not only with what you all are doing, but as other sectors of cultural businesses are aware of what's available in blockchain, where people can participate in things beyond just buying an experience, but actually having shared ownership or some sort of shared participation?
Yes, totally. So we've seen, for example, when it started everything, for example, with the NFTs, the industry was super hype about it, and then it lasts around 1 year, and then of course some of the NFTs fall. But even myself, until now, I'm still doing NFT marketplaces for different blockchains, Solana and Polygon, and I can see that they can match with you can mix it with the real world NFTs as well. That is a new business line, let's say, and opens up new opportunities. And I think we can see this also in other sectors. For example, in the health industry, even with the government, that will be ideal that the government wants to democratize blockchain, and we can see public registrations of things. No, that will be I think the best of the best of blockchain that provides. But also there is multiple use cases in insurance, healthcare, IT in general. Many different sectors. So I think it's a great opportunity, and to be working on top of the industry and collaborating to democratizing services with blockchain, basically.
Definitely. Well, for the audience tuning in, I just want to remind people that the show is brought to us by Film Fund, and we're about to pivot here into our AMA directly with the team. So Kelly and I have put together a series of questions that we want to pose to the Film Fund team. If people are tuning in and they have additional questions, just put them into the chat panel. So Kelly and I will be looking at those questions as we're going through the AMA and taking a peek at those if people have any questions. But Cyprian, as we get started in this AMA portion, we always like to give the opportunity for projects to just present their elevator pitch for the project. Why don't you let us know what Film Fund is? Just a brief elevator pitch.
Film Fund came from a simple observation. There are so brilliant filmmakers out there, but most of them do not get there off the ground because financing is quite locked through closed doors. And I came through this observation while interviewing filmmakers to sell them direct tokenization products, and I discovered very interesting things. Most of them need to shift from creativity of doing the film to the burden of raising capital, and they are doing this continuously, and also need to shift from the creativity of doing the film to building effective partnership. And that's quite drastically impact the quality of the film sometimes. And if you look even deeper on the market, you will see that out there, out of 10,000 films which are done every year, 94% are independent filmmakers and 97% do not make profits. And they do not make profits for these two reasons: capital and distribution. And if you look even deeper, you will see cases like Paranormal Activity film, which had a budget of $20,000 and produced a revenue of 190 million. Can you imagine? So this means if you put in the hands of these guys everything they need, from idea to distribution, great things will happen. And that's the idea of Film Fund behind. With the mission, we came with the mission to give filmmakers everything they need, from idea, from capital to distribution, with no upfront cost at all.
Well, I love that. And as we mentioned earlier, the idea of, opening the floodgates, if you will, opening access to people that are interested in, films, entertainment, or participating and help fund, or also what that means, for this culture. But I'd love to ask you, how did this project come to life? How did Film Fund add value? We're talking about tokenization. How does the financing through tokenization, what does that expand on, or what new availability of options or opportunity does that give to, whether it be the participants or the film production itself?
So look, to achieve this goal, to give them capital and distribution with no upfront cost, we put together a dual token system. There is an utility token that acts as governance, promotion, and access rights to the films. And there is another joint venture token that provides profits on that specific film. And we have also some sort of FPP points, film promotion points, that are enabled through a staking mechanism. And it's not just giving token from the tiny air. You need to promote specific film in order to get this token as a rewards. And then you can convert these FPP points in our utility token, FFA token.
Wonderful. And are there competitors when it comes to film financing in Web3?
Well, there are, of course, there are, but there is a big market for everyone. As I mentioned, there are 10,000 films out there. There are projects like Zero Contact, Kilroy, Film.io, Cinemadrome, to name a few, and most of them are based on NFT. But sometimes NFT legal is not clear across several jurisdictions, and that's why we put together the joint venture token. That provides profits in the film, not ownership but profits. So filmmakers keeps the equity, and the contributor gets the profit in the specific film along all the process of how the film will last.
Well, I'd love to also ask you, because this obviously, to my knowledge at least, would be pretty broad internationally. And so there's going to be some potential compliance issues. People always also in blockchain and tokens always wonder about security as well. So I'd love to ask you, how do you ensure compliance? How do you ensure security for the investors, but also the creators that are participating in this?
Yes, very good question. So first of all, in order to invest, to contribute this to this joint venture token, you need to submit a KYC, and this KYC will differentiate the retail investors through qualified investor across the jurisdiction. Yeah, so we even separate the capital raising in two phases. We have two stages: below $5 million raise and beyond $5 million raise. And below $5 million raise, that might be just an asset reference token that might need white paper and a KYC. And if they go beyond, for example, through beyond 5 million raise, they will interact maybe with prospectus status in certain jurisdiction, and the KYC will differentiate that. So might be films that retail investor cannot access them based on the KYC they make, but they still can have the utility token and promote those films and be rewarded for that. So like this, we keep the legal very on the ground.
Well, one of the things I'd love to highlight is I'm scrolling the website. This is one of those things I like to see as somebody that is a speculator and an investor. When a project comes to my attention, you all already have over 250 projects, over $120 million already funded, 15,000 users. Can you talk?
No. If you look there, it's just 1 year goal. So this is our goal for the next year. Yes, we will be starting now. We are in the testnet. We are in base blockchain, and we are in testnet, and we will be live around the 1st of January. Yes, from the 1st of January, contributors can come and support the films and get joint venture tokens as a reward.
Well, no, these are great goals, and my apologies for misreading that as I scrolled. I'd love for you to highlight on that aspect, though. What are some of your plans in terms of outreach, engagement, community, to whether it be with projects themselves, whether it be for speculators? What are some of your processes to make this happen?
Of course, after we launch, we will focus on growth and empowerment. We'll bring more films onto the platform through special persons, to special colleagues like Ralph and others. Ralph already bring us more than 25 films with the great names. He can mention some of the great names he bring us. And definitely we want Film Fund to become the global standard for film financing. Imagine a filmmaker in Lagos, Mumbai, and LA having complete access to film financing and distribution, and they will be able to really to focus on the creativity of doing the film.
Wonderful. And so those are great goals that Kelly highlighted above. Where is the product at right now? Like have there been any films that have yet gone through this process?
Right now, as I told you, we are in testnet, so we cannot, being in testnet, we cannot really start the process. But now we are collecting a batch of good films. We are collaborating with very good names around the industry, and also unknown names that we want to make them successful. And we are reaching a batch of. Our goal is to have like 100 films on the platform around January 1st. So. To finance them accordingly when the process is starting. After our utility token will be listed on exchange, and the process of financing film will be starting.
And one of the things I'd love for you to expand on more, because I think this, for me, is one of the most attractive aspects of the tokenization of something like this that you all are doing at Film Fund. These benefits for all stakeholders, because it's not just, hey, I'm funding a film, but there's also benefits, whether somebody is super into films or just looking to participate in distribution rewards, film profits, community interaction, helping shape some of these things, but also the filmmaker side, for the fundraising, having a more entrenched community, and of course creative tools. But I'd love for you to expand a little bit on this participation and how it can impact both the fans and the filmmakers.
So simply, the fans will join our platform, will subscribe to a staking plan, which is bronze, silver, or gold, and each staking plans give a point multipliers. In the bronze, you have a 1 point multiplier. In silver, you have 1.5, and in gold, you have 2. And this means every time when someone promote a film, so they are enabling by enabling a staking plan, you will also get access to promote films. So by promoting films in your social networks, whatever, you will get a special link. It's like sort of affiliate link, but it's more than that. And you will promote that specific link, and for each link click which is coming from a unique IP, you will get rewarded with 1 FPP point. And as you collect the FPP points, which is in amount of 300 per day at the beginning, you will be able to convert these FFP points in our utility token. And then with utility token, maybe you can convert it to stable coin and participate in film financing in the film you like and on the batch we will have there.
And what is the anticipated launch date to go live on mainnet?
The anticipated date is 1st of January 2026, the best case scenario.
Wonderful.
Something
And
like this.
maybe anything to elaborate on for the listeners in terms of what they would be able to expect around January 2026 if they were to use the product or check it out? Is that when you anticipate having different films on the platform that they can invest in and things like that? What would the user journey be like?
Definitely users will be able to come and try the product in the testnet, yes, connect to a staking plan and get a link that can promote the films, and they actively can get FPV points until that time. We'll make this live next week, sorry. And this even after mainnet, these points will be converted in real FPV points after will be in a mainnet. So between this time, they also will be interacting with the films. We'll posting there. We'll invite a lot of filmmakers to come and post their films. And until the time, people can subscribe to them. And by the date of launching, they will be informed that where will be live on mainnet, so they can go further and contribute to the films with stable coin.
And how do you plan on scaling the platform to reach more global filmmakers and investors?
As I told you, as I mentioned, filmmakers, especially independent filmmakers, are always interested in token. All interested. 99% are interested to tokenization because they will give them access to capital and distribution with no upfront cost, and that's great for them. So definitely, we want to expand the partnerships with entertainment platforms, with studios, and to bring them and make the noise around Film Fund and really promote our value, because really what we do here, it's really valuable for filmmakers. And I think by bringing this project to life, we will see greater movies, because filmmakers will not be struggling with capital and distribution along the line of making the film. So they can really focus on the creativity, and that's really great for them. So
I'd love to ask.
filmmakers.
I'd love to also ask, because it's not just the filmmakers, right, and the actors involved or the speculators, but what we have seen, at least in the past, when we get changes in distribution or tech or whatever, there tends to be sometimes some pushback from the entrenched system. So I'm curious how you envision or what sort of appetite or resistance that you might be seeing with the relationship between traditional film studios, for instance, and these new Web3 platforms like Film Fund?
Well, first of all, this film financing, through the research we were done over the past few months, we're seeing that retail investors and average investors are quite close to these new blockbusters, to say so. So only few small crowds have access to this kind of thing. So we are democratizing things, as Alan mentioned. And I think this is great, even for the fan, even for the filmmaker. Yes. So, yeah.
Are you using any data analytics or even AI to connect filmmakers with the right audience or investors?
Well, yeah, very good question. Very good question. Thank you very much for it. Actually, in top of tokenizing, we put together some tools for the filmmaker, some AI tools for the filmmaker to make their life easier. So they have a script analyzer AI, which they will be able to generate script and analyze their current script. We have a casting recommender AI, which after they have the script, they can interact with that AI that will give them the most suitable actors for that particular film in terms of budget and balance. Nevertheless, we have a trailer builder AI, which will help them to generate 1 minute to up to 5 minutes video with AI. Now will be 1 minute, but in more long term, it will go up to 5 minutes. And also, We have a distribution agent AI, which comprised by two agents. One agent, based on all the analytics data, will build a certain distribution strategy, and the other agent will connect the strategy to all the film festivals and distributors out there, and it will get calls scheduled for filmmakers with certain distributors, so the AI will never stop until the certain calls will be scheduled for that particular filmmaker. So as you can see, we are building double distribution mechanism. One distribution mechanism created by the funds will actively promote any film to be rewarded with points and convert that points to FFA token or utility token. And in the other side, we are putting in the hands of this filmmaker, this powerful agent, who will help them close a really powerful connection in the industry quite fast.
So curious, this is, you may have covered this partially earlier, but just to flesh it out, at what stage in a film's development or production is something like this best used? Is this going to be before the ball really gets rolling and based on appetite, it moves forward or not? Or is this something that's already, for the most part, filmed and looking for expansion? Where is it at on that roadmap for filmmakers?
So we have three stages. When a filmmaker will go to post a new project there, they have three stages: pre-production, production, and post-production. So they can come in pre-production and interact with these AI tools, get the development fund they need to book the actors and everything else to the production stage. And we have films which are in production, maybe need some additional money in order to be successful. And we also have a post-production stage for the filmmakers who struggle with perhaps with financing their post-production activities, yes, like distribution and so on.
And how would you say that Film Fund manages the various different risks that are associated with film investments in general on a blockchain platform?
So I think the joint venture agreement is clear. The joint venture token is backed by a joint venture agreement, which gives profits in that specific movie. That is done, as I mentioned, through the KYC process. So this will differentiate the investors, retail from qualified. So I think there is no particular risk, because let me tell you how it's working. Every time, for example, funds are coming and contributing with liquidity to the fund liquidity pool. When the fund liquidity pool has reached the peak will be how much filmmaker is raising. It will get locked, and that time the joint venture token agreement, it's a joint venture token process is starting. Means a legal advisor that has been selected by the filmmaker when he was posting the film, it's coming into action. It's registering SPV in a certain jurisdiction, and while the legal advisor will give green light and opinion, when the opinion is green, the new joint venture token will be issued in the filmmaker wallet. From there, the filmmaker with a button will distribute to all the contributors that are contributed with liquidity in the pool, and in exchange, it will get the remaining liquidity from the pool. That will be the funds for him to achieve his goal, whether it will be development stage of the film, production, or post-production. Wonderful. And when the profits are coming in the film, we'll also connect some Oracle to the main accounts of the filmmakers in order to inform our community in real time of what profits are coming in the game. So based on this, the profits will return accordingly to how much filmmaker has been setted in the beginning. So they can set 1 up to 99 to share with the community from the profits. Just to mention one important thing, joint venture agreement, it's very simple. It's like I'm selling apple in the market. You are seeing my apples. Wow, your apples are very nice and red. Here is 1,000 euro to buy more apples. And at the end of the day, I will come to your stand and we will share the profits together. It's just like this.
So how does the platform ensure that filmmakers still have creative control while also benefiting from the tokenization aspect?
Exactly. So the investors will also contribute. I'm not calling them investor. I'm calling them contributors, because at one stage they are funds and they are becoming let's say, investor after the joint venture agreement has been shaped by the legal advisor in the legal way according to the jurisdiction that has been done.
So I got to ask, we got to tens of thousands of people tuned in. We got, I'm sure, a lot more people that are going to watch later after this wraps. And I do want to shout out for anybody that's tuned in. Go back and watch through. There's been a great conversation leading up to this AMA. I also want to call out, you can check out more information on them at filmfund.io and also on their socials at filmfund_DM. But I'd love to ask you, Cyprian, before we wrap out, do you have any call to actions for people out there, whether they are fans of film or investors or actually filmmakers? Do you have any specific call to actions that they can get involved with right now? And any other alpha you'd like to drop before we wrap this one out?
Yeah, I think the community, we will need all their support, yes, along the way. So it will be great to have all the kind of community support is possible, because we will do this with the power of community. It's a project that's based on the power of community. And even, I forgot to mention, we have two governance model. One governance model is on the utility token side, yes, and they will vote about the platform and so on. But there'll also be a governance model on GB tokens. And in order to protect the community, yes, because this kind of platforms success is just based on how much successful delivery rate of the project you launch will be there. So in order to achieve this, we also have some protocol that will release liquidity based on the milestone they achieved. Yes, for example, for independent filmmakers without track record, they will not just get the money that will be raising just like this. We will release them based on the milestone they achieved. So the community will have a say on this through the governance model on GB token as well.
Have you guys decided which chain you're going to be launching on?
Base chain. We are now on the base chain, and I think we will stick to that, because base chain is working very good with the protocols, with the securitization protocols. Now we are cycling between ERC 1400 and ERC 3643. We will see which is best suited for us. And yeah.
Well, I love it.
I
I do want to shout out also Alan for coming on here, and Ralph lending your thoughts and insights. I'd love to give you guys an opportunity if you have anything that maybe hadn't been hit yet, or anything you'd like to illuminate before we wrap this one out.
Alan, go ahead.
Well, I want to thank you all for inviting to your show. I think it's been a great talk, and also great discussions related to film industry and also blockchain in general. So that I want to thank you all, and that's it from my side.
Yeah, I like to thank you as well, and I'm very looking forward to get this online and to join this new platform.
Well, we appreciate you all, and everybody out there that's tuned in. We appreciate you for tuning into these Mario Nawfal Crypto Daily discussions, and everything from AI to AI development, different blockchains developing in different sectors of the market, entertainment, gaming. We have it all here and more on the Roundtable account, as well as the Mario Nawfal account. We really hope you, we really appreciate you all tuning in. And also for today's sponsor, Film Fund, we appreciate you guys letting us peek under the hood and see what you guys got going on. I'll throw it over to Buzz to wrap this one out for us.
Yeah, I just want to remind people, Cyprian was talking about how important community is to this project. So if you do want to find the Film Fund community, just again, to reiterate that, on X, it is at filmfund_DM. Is there any other place where your community congregates, Cyprian, where you might want to let the audience know about?
We are also on Zora, on Base, on Zora, on social file of Base, Zora chain. Yes, we will be there. It's Zora/@FilmFund. We are also in Instagram, and people can see actually if they are joining this our site filmfund.io. In the bottom of the page, they can find all our social links, and we will post them. We'll post frequently, so we'll keep community really informed about what's going on in the next months until we will be launching.
Wonderful. Well, I wish you guys all the success leading up to the launch. I mean, I know how difficult it is, especially with an RWA project and the many moving parts of not only finding the supply side of this equation, which is movies coming onto the platform and other financing opportunities, but the demand side as well, and matching those two together. It's no easy feat, and I commend you guys for what you've been able to build thus far, and congratulations for being live on testnet, and we hope that we have you again on the show to hear more about how it's coming along to your mainnet launch, and hopefully after as well, to see any successes that you guys may see. But want to appreciate you guys again for joining the show. It was a pleasure to have you. And for the audience tuning in, I just want to shout out one more time. The X account is at filmfund_DM, and the website is filmfund.io. So if you're tuning in, have a great day. Happy Wednesday. This is Uptober. Bitcoin is up. ETH is up. Solana is up above 220. So these are good times. Enjoy it while you can, and everyone have a great day. Take care.
Adios,
Thank
everybody.
you so much. Thank you so much. All the best, everyone. It was great to be here.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, guys.